sometimes feels as though the entire world is talking about Taylor Swift, and yet the skeptics keep asking, why? Let us try then to uncover the secret behind her extraordinary popularity, and to understand why millions of women across continents read her lyrics as if they were sacred text. Today, Taylor Swift is not merely the reigning queen of pop music. She is a cultural and economic phenomenon. Her concerts revive the economies of entire regions. Her disputes with corporate giants reshape the very architecture of the music industry. Recently, she was even named Person of the Year, surpassing presidents and monarchs alike. How does one explain this? And why, unlike almost every other pop icon before her, does her fame not wane with time, but continue to expand almost exponentially? Swift is only in her early 30s. She is the most streamed artist on Spotify, a 12-time Grammy winner and the holder of countless records within the music business. Yet her success cannot be explained by melody and marketing alone. As Time magazine once observed, as a pop star, she stands in a rare company with Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, and Madonna. As a songwriter, she has been compared to Bob Dylan, Paul McCartney, and Joni Mitchell. And as a businesswoman, she has built an empire worth, by some estimates, more than $1 billion. For many icons of popular music, the road to success is long and punishing. Kanye West was once dismissed as a producer who dared to rap. Eminem worked 60 hours a week in a restaurant before anyone listened to his demos. Taylor Swift's story began differently. At the age of 11, she won a local talent contest and performed as an opening act for the country legend Charlie Daniels. At 12, a local musician taught her to play guitar, and she wrote her first song. Her father, a stockbroker with an instinct for timing, moved the family from Pennsylvania to Tennessee to help his daughter find her place in Nashville's country scene. At 14, she became the youngest songwriter ever signed to Sony ATV Music Publishing. And at 18, with only one studio album behind her, she earned her first Grammy nomination, though Amy Winehouse took home the award that year. Many of Swift's songs are autobiographical. Over the years, fans and tabloids have assembled a vast Swift universe, complete with heroes, villains, and recurring motifs. It's a bit like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, music journalist Charlie Harding once said, a mythology Taylor has constructed around herself. A true Swiftie, as her fans proudly call themselves, doesn't merely memorize the lyrics, they study the backstory. They know, for instance, why the songs Dear John, All Too Well, and Would've, Could've, Should've still sting because they reflect relationships with much older men, John Mayer and Jake Gyllenhaal, where Swift, then 19 and 21, found herself vulnerable to manipulation and condescension. Taylor Swift has mastered the delicate art of the parasocial relationship, the deep, one-sided emotional connection between an audience and a public figure. Artists like Beyoncé create an aura of divine distance, notes Shira Gabriel, associate professor of psychology at the University at Buffalo. They inspire worship, not friendship. Swift, however, presents herself as a person, someone you might actually know. Before releasing 1989, she invited fans to house parties. In 2014, she personally mailed Christmas gifts to some of them. Her award speeches are long, tender, sometimes awkwardly sincere, and therefore profoundly human. For her fans, Taylor Swift is not just an idol, she is a companion through life's turning points. She has been there when they fell in love for the first time, when they left home for college, when they faced their first heartbreak. Her music maps the landscape of early adulthood, that fragile, luminous period when identity and emotion are in constant negotiation. Many of her listeners see her as a confidant, even a mirror. Her songs become soundtracks to their own lives, helping them process heartbreak and find dignity in pain. To be a Swiftie is to inhabit a world of perpetual discovery,
Not only because Taylor bears pieces of her soul, but because she loves riddles and hidden meanings. Her videos and album artwork are full of cryptic clues, a scavenger hunt for the devoted. This tendency reached its peak in Look What You Made Me Do, the video from Reputation, released after her public feud with Kanye West and her so-called cancellation. There, she mocks her media image, parodies her rivals, and rewrites the narrative on her own terms. The Swift universe is a masterclass in modern myth-making and one of the most effective marketing systems in the music business. It creates a parallel reality, a narrative ecosystem that amplifies fascination and loyalty. Still, critics often dismiss her music as just pop. But Taylor Swift, in many ways, is the Steven Spielberg of the recording industry. Her works are lavish, emotionally immediate, and universally comprehensible, yet still unmistakably personal. Combining mass appeal with artistic integrity is almost impossible, but when someone manages it, they enter the cultural pantheon.
Each of Swift's albums represents a distinct era, a metamorphosis in sound and self. From her country beginnings to her indie folk and synth-pop explorations, she proves that versatility need not come at the expense of authenticity. To understand her success, one must recognize that two forces coexist within her: the artist and the entrepreneur. The artist writes music that resonates with both millennials and Gen Z. The entrepreneur ensures that each verse converts into value through re-recordings, deluxe editions, acoustic versions, and carefully timed releases. The outcome is symbiotic. Fans feel rewarded and economies flourish wherever her tour arrives. Taylor Swift began writing songs at 16. She has loved, lost, and loved again, and so have her listeners. They can see themselves both in the fearless teenager plunging into love and in the wary woman who now hesitates to let anyone too close. Quote, "Taylor Swift for women," someone once said, "is what Drake is for men." Both write about betrayal, longing, and resilience. Both turn private sorrow into shared mythology. Their heartbreaks are not weaknesses, but rites of passage, the crucibles that forge identity. Gender inequality remains one of the recurring themes in Swift's work. Over the years, she has journeyed from internalized misogyny to open feminist consciousness. In her 2020 song August, she sings from the perspective of the other woman, not as a villain, but as a human being who simply wanted to be loved. As she explains in the Folklore documentary, she didn't want to steal someone's man, she just wanted affection, even if it meant settling for less. And yet, Taylor being Taylor, she never leaves wrongdoing unanswered. In Vigilante Shit and Nobody No Crime, she transforms into a kind of avenging spirit, elegant, dangerous, uncompromising. Critics accuse her of dramatizing her life, of seeking attention. Those accusations reached a peak during her conflicts with Kanye West, Big Machine Records, and radio host David Mueller. As she told CBS News, quote, "In the music industry, men and women speak different languages, don't they? When a man strategizes, it's called ambition. When a woman does the same, it's manipulation. A man reacts, a woman overreacts." Swift's anger is articulate, unapologetic, and, for countless women raised to be agreeable, deeply liberating. She refuses to turn the other cheek. Not in her songs, Mad Woman, Bad Blood, The Last Great American Dynasty, and not in life. As she said in that same interview, quote, "People always say you need to forgive and forget. No, you don't. You can move on without forgiving, and you can heal without forgetting." Despite her monumental achievements, many still question her vocal talent or her character. But one truth remains: her fans will continue to search every lyric for hidden meaning, while the world will go on debating the success of a woman who has spent her career rewriting the rules and has never once apologized for winning.